do. Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancient. This is the monthly Wisdom Circle. My name's Priscilla with my co-host Heather, and we'd like to welcome our fellow circle members, Jean, Joan, Terry Lee, and our little absent Terry Suzuki, who's in Japan. We gather monthly as a discussion group of women regarding awakening, awareness, and ascension. And our goal is to share, support, and validate each other, as well as others who are following a spiritual path. We're here to share and discuss spiritually related theories, experiences, information, and perspectives from a diverse background and point of view. We hope to make you laugh, to feel included, and maybe gain some insight or perspective on whatever is happening to you on your spiritual journey. Our individual paths are unique. No two of us are the same, so please take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And remember, this is for spiritual and entertainment purposes only. Today is about protections, a very apropos subject. This and Heather's going to be our host. All of the participants' contact details are in the description of each Wisdom Circle video, as is a list of future show dates, presenters, and subjects. So please check it out. Now I'll turn things over to Heather.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, ladies.
Yes, thank you everybody for being here. And I'm not sure how to make these slides work. There we go. All right, good.
Hey.
So we're working on spiritual protections. And first of all, we need to know why we want them. So they're spiritual protections, they're energetic armor. It's about preserving your energy, your emotional balance, and your spiritual integrity. It's not just from psychic attacks. It's all these things that we're trying to protect ourselves from. And you need to remember, and this is something we all forget, that as we spiritually grow and improve our self-awareness, protecting our energy becomes more and more important, because the more that we grow and the farther along we go, it's kind of like what's going on in the world now. Those who are in power don't want new ideas, don't want new people. And as we begin to grow and think for ourselves and know what it is we want, they're fighting back harder. So if we don't have our protections, we're opening ourselves up. The more we grow, the more they are aware of us. So what are the spiritual protection practices? They're spiritual and energetic techniques designed to shield you from external energies that can affect your inner peace. Just as you protect your physical body, it's equally important to protect your emotional and spiritual bodies, if you will. Spiritual protection practices create a barrier that shields you from negative and draining environments and relationships, and can safeguard you from emotional or psychic energy attacks. And this will probably be repeated a little bit further. It's like going out, and I'm not talking in Key West where it never gets cold. It's like going out in the snow in a swimsuit without coat and heavy clothes. You're not putting your physical protections on. You would never do that. But energetically, we forget to put our coats on. So it's important. It's protection. Sorry, it went back. Okay. They help you maintain these protections. They help you maintain emotional balance and avoid being affected by others negatively. And it helps clear negative energy from your surroundings and personal space. Just by putting the protections on, you're clearing it out. It helps you feel grounded and centered, even in chaotic or overwhelming situations. And it helps protect your energy field from both seen and unseen influences. And if you're an empath, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you don't have your protections up, you're constantly being bombarded. It guards against toxic people and environments. It guards you against other people's emotions. And that's why I said, if you're an empath, if you're energetically sensitive, it helps with spiritual or psychic attacks like jealousy, ill wishes, or the evil eye. I mean, there are some people you know you don't want to be around because they give you a feeling. You don't want their energy. It protects you from that. Internal overwhelm or emotional exhaustion. And this is really especially for those who are empaths. And I'm not saying that if you're an empath, you're the only one that needs to do it. Everybody needs to do it. You get slightly depressed because of energy around you and without your protections. And it also helps with the energetic clutter from crowded or chaotic places. A lot of us don't like being in large crowds for a long time.
Mhm.
And I know several of us. So why do we need them? Once you start opening yourself up in new ways, being open to metaphysical realities, learning how to work with and move energy, connecting to deities or other spirits, and engaging in the spiritual journey, you plant spiritual communication and anything else. You make yourself more visible to a wider range of forces out there. So the further we go, the more people or more entities are aware of us. That's why I said that the more you do, the more protections you need. So why do we need them? Another way to think about protection that has less of a negative connotation than the last things that I said is that moving things a little in my favor in the broader world. In other words, you're saying, okay, if I put my protections up, I'm safer to go here. I can go ahead and do it. This is better for me. It's like I'm wearing a heavy coat because it's cold outside to keep me warm, you know. And daily protections protect you and help things that could harm you in the physical world. And so you can avoid them. Daily protections, begin to see the daily protection work is becoming more and more central to what's necessary to just being able to stay sane and balanced in a world that seems to be crumbling around us, and it does seem to be going bananas out there. The last few years have made it incredibly clear that every year will get harder and more difficult, which means that the world, human and non-human, will experience more anxiety, fear, and suffering. Protections help you from taking everything, all that negative energy in. Psychic protection comes first. You need to talk to your spirit guides and protectors and angels. And it helps you when you talk to them, they will also protect you. You wear shields daily. Like, you don't go out in the cold without a coat. Most of the time we don't. I remember when I was a kid and I would babysit the kids next door, I would run across from my back door to their front door with no coat and usually no shoes, even if it was snowy. You know, you and your kids, you do anything. But on a general basis, we don't do that. And by having the protections, it helps us cleanse and ground and center every day. So we need to be specific about who can come in for those protections, into your protections. And like Priscilla and I, when we would set up for her channeling, we'd go through and sage the house and say, only these people could come in. People like those whose hearts are full of unconditional love, or those who are there for our highest good. They could come in. They were allowed to come through the protections. So you want to make sure you set boundaries to who can come in. And there are lots of different protections, but these are just 8, and a lot of them are common. And when I get done presenting, I will be asking everybody what kinds of things they do. So grounding. And right now I have on a White Dragon calls them my salt slippers. I've got my feet sitting on blocks of salt for grounding. Grounding connects your energy to the earth's stabilizing force, helping you to stay rooted in the present moment and resistance to outside negativity. So, how do you do that? You can visualize, you can imagine roots growing from your feet into the earth. And a lot of us have done that. And it helps you anchor deeply into the ground, connecting you to the earth's pure energy. You can do breathing exercises, practicing deep, mindful breathing as you visualize yourself drawing strength and stability from earth. Oh, and if you want to screenshot any of these things, go ahead. I don't care. Then you have nature connections. Now, I used to go camping every weekend and I would go hiking just to stay sane after a week of work. And so that's the nature connection, spending times outdoor, walking barefoot on the earth when it's warm enough, forest bathing, and simply being in nature is also good for your environmental wellness. And repeating affirmations. You can affirm your intention to grounding during any of the practice that were listed, or even more that you can think of. And repeat the grounding affirmations as their own grounding rituals. So the benefits: grounding helps maintain a calm, balanced state, especially in stressful situations, which is why I used to go camping as much as I could. Shielding. Shielding is a technique that involves imagining an energetic barrier or bubble, a lot of us use bubbles, around our bodies or our cars or whatever, to protect us from natural external negativity, It's especially useful for empaths or anyone sensitive to other people's emotions. And I know that there's a bubble around me all the time. I know Priscilla puts bubbles around her vehicles when she goes somewhere. I don't know, what do any of you others use bubbles? You do? Okay. So we visualize a protective shield. See yourself surrounded by a protective bubble of light, and you can visualize it forming around you. A lot of times I will start in my heart and just pull out that love outgoing more and more and more and more, and not just standing with a bubble around me. It's the whole condo. It's the whole area. It's just protective. When you set the intention, you can visualize a shield around you. So shielding provides a mental and energetic boundary, preventing negativity from entering your personal space. So you can do whatever you need for it. There's also cord cutting. I have seen this done. I have not done too much of it myself. Energetic cords can form between you and other people or situations. And that often leaves you feeling drained or emotionally attached. So you can't seem to get away from them. They're just always there. Cutting the cord is a practice of releasing those energetic ties. I'm saying, you're not good for me. I'm going to cut the cords with you so that you're not tied to me all the time. And sometimes it's very important to do that, especially with people. So to do that, you can visualize it. Imagine energetic cords connecting to you in a person or situation. Visualize a tool like the scissors or a sword, or there are crystals that people use to do this with. But you're freeing your energy and your connection. You set that intention. You affirm that you're releasing all energetic ties that no longer serve you at the highest good. I've seen it done where they say, well, think of this, something that's tying you down, and that's a weight, and it's pulling you down. And they had each thing be a weight, and they literally cut the cord holding the weight and when it drop off. So it was a visualization too. So, and it really worked for some people where they could say, I dropped that weight. It's going to the bottom of the ocean. I can't get to it anymore. So the benefit is it frees you from unhealthy attachments and for you to reclaim your own personal power. Then there's crystals. Boy, are there crystals. And these are only a few of them. But certain crystals have protective properties that help absorb and block negative energy. By carrying or wearing these crystals, you can maintain a stronger energetic boundary. A lot of people use the crystals to help negate the electronics around us. We have so many. But some of the commonly used ones are like black tourmaline, and they're known for absorbing negative energy and grounding your energy fields. It repels negativity and it grounds your energy. Like I said, I'm sitting on my salt blocks. So amethyst, I used to carry one all the time until it's old. For a period of time, I was not allowed to have any of the crystals near me. So I had gotten rid of them. So gradually I've been getting the crystals that I want back because they're safe for me again. But at one time, I carried an amethyst all the time. It provides spiritual protection and helps clear negative thoughts, protects your aura, and connects you to higher wisdom. I also used it for healing. Then there's obsidian. That offers strong protection against psychic attacks and emotional harm. It absorbs toxic emotion and shields from spiritual harm. Is it obsidian that those triangles are made of that you put around your house in the corners? I'm not sure. And there's selenite, which I know some people use to cut the cords. It cleanses your aura and creates a shield of light around you. And then shungite. It absorbs EMFs and promotes detoxification. So the crystals amplify protections by absorbing, transmuting, and blocking the harmful energy. I said how you can use them, carry them. I used to wear a huge crystal all the time. Wear it as jewelry, place it in your home for continuous energy protection. There's lots of things that crystals help with. But you do need to clean them once in a while. Affirmations. Positive affirmations strengthen your energetic boundaries and reinforce mental and emotional resilience. Things like, I'm surrounded by a protective field of light that keeps me safe. These are short ones, and the benefits, I'm not going to read them all. You can take a picture, but these are kinds of things that you do. Get one that resonates with you. The benefits, they empower you and strengthen your energy protection. They affirm your intention. This one I use before my meditations all the time because it does so many different things, and it helps me with building my own unconditional love. Because a lot of times when I get up and I go sit down to meditate, I'm kind of deflated. I really need the help. So I call for the presence of unconditional love. Come now, don't delay. Fill those in this space and bless us with your grace. And then when I can feel it, I will continue to say, I feel that presence. But this is the part that I like the best, the end of this. I am the presence of unconditional love. And in this space, there's no room for fear. Please guide fear to the light or to the earth, whichever is for the highest good. My heart, my mind, my body, and my spirit are protected by unconditional love. I truly believe that. And it's by my will that this is so. And then I thank them. Because if it's protecting me, I really don't need much else. Nothing can beat unconditional love.
It's beautiful, Heather. Really beautiful.
Yeah. But when I was looking through all sorts, and this one just hit me right in the face. I said, okay, that's fine. But find one that resonates for you. Then we also have protective symbols and talismans. A lot of them know what, like the evil eye and stuff like that. And it dates back to cultures. Cultures have had symbols and believing and for offers of protection, like totem poles even, totems. It's cultural, religious, sometimes it's familial, to see if there are commonly used protections or talismans. Some popular ones, like I said, the evil eye, Hamza hand, the Celtic knot, the cross, the Star of David, the Om symbol, a horseshoe. I mean, there's so many different kinds of talismans that people wear for luck. So there are so many symbols. How do we use them? make jewelry a lot of the times. My mom firmly believed that turquoise was a protection, and she was constantly getting me turquoise bracelets or something else, but it was always turquoise. And I'm going, okay. I was not a big fan of time, wasn't that fond of turquoise, but I wore it because that's what she got me. That's what she wanted. The benefits, they're protective symbols and talismans, and they carry centuries of belief and energy and spiritual power. And incorporating them into our life provides an added layer of protection, grounding, and connection to something greater than us. It may simply be the tradition or the family thing, everything. Vinegar bowls are used. It's a common practice in the hoodoo and other American folk traditions to use vinegar, which helps disrupt etheric energy. That's the energy of spirits who manifest in line and try to oppose the astral energy. For example, sleeping with a bowl of vinegar at night can prevent spirits from bothering you in your sleep and getting into your dreams. That's what it's used for. Energy cleansing. We all do this, I think. Energy cleansing can be done in different ways and is included as a protection practice because removing energy that is not yours and isn't good for you is as important as shielding yourself from it. It affirms your intentions as you cleanse yourself. So part of the reason I use that affirmation is because by becoming the light, I am cleansing myself of everything that might be fear-based. So, it's energy cleansing. And that particular affirmation does a lot of things for me. So smudging, that's a very powerful way to clear negative and stagnant energy. We burn the herbs. And most of the things that we use are sage and Palo Santo or mugwort or frankincense. And it does say sage, there's cleanses and protects spaces. Mugwort and frankincense, they're spiritual defense and psychic protection. You set your intention. We never just burned it. We went around saying our mantras or whatever it was to make sure that our intention for what it was supposed to do was there, right, Brazil? So, and you can take a ritual bath or shower, and you can cleanse your energy field and offer protection. And what you can add for it is sea salt or Epsom salts. Herbs like rosemary, and if you're not allergic to lavender, it's really good for you. Me, I'm allergic. Anyway. So a few drops of protection essential oils like frankincense and cedarwood. And if I just want to feel good, I put in a couple drops of, and I can't remember the name of it, but it makes me laugh every time I smell it. So, I feel good. Energy cleansing. Now you can brush it. I got to thinking about this when I was looking at it. You can different ways of metaphorically or physically brush off the energies you don't want. And I remember when I was doing Qigong, as I can't say it right. Anyway, it was an exercise, and we were I was moving energy around in my body all the time, constantly brushing and moving stuff around. And I know at the same time as I was cleansing out what shouldn't be there. The way you feel when you get done is really, really, really wonderful. Energized and at ease and balanced. And anyway, so I definitely say energy cleansing is good. It gets rid of unwanted energies. And you can do the energy cleansing either using a brush, even in the shower. You can do it in the shower too, just get rid of the unwanted energies so that you're doing the right energy for you.
I personally like Taylor Swift's song, Shake It Off.
Shake it off. Good.
I think it's great for getting rid of energy you don't want. Dancing around, jumping around, shaking it off. One of my favorites.
And everybody, it was before yoga class, and everybody was jumping around, and laughing, and the whole class went better after that. Nobody would be serious. So you also need to set your boundaries as you get going. A lot of us forget to do that. We just say, protect us, but you forget to say, okay, here's the boundary, who can come in, who can't, things like that. And then in everyday life, the boundaries that we need to conclude are learning to say no to energy draining activities or people. So when you're setting up, if you're happy to work a fair, you may want to set a boundary that those who are trying to drain my energy are not allowed in my space. Their energy is not allowed. Or creating a sacred space in your homes where you can retreat and recharge. I have one place that is only used for meditation and journal writing. And it's funny when I keep going back to the same place, the more you use that place, the easier it is to get set right into it. It doesn't take you near as long. Regularly practicing self-care to maintain your energy levels. So I said, the self-care isn't just grabbing your coat when you go out, it's setting your boundaries and your protections. That's all self-care. Salt's been used to help to trap energy if you need to, or just to keep them from walking across your doorstep. But salt will prevent them from coming in. It's a powerful and ancient tool for purification and boundary setting. So I wasn't really sure where to put salt until I looked at boundaries. I said, okay, it's a boundary. When to use them? Every day. You need to use them every day. Protection practices are useful anytime you feel energetically vulnerable. Things like before entering a crowd or chaotic environment. If you're going to go to a protest, put your boundaries up. Put your protections up. After a difficult conversation or interaction with someone who's been draining you, and you need to recharge. During stressful periods when you're more susceptible to negative energy, like at work. Before engaging in spiritual or energy work to maintain a clear, protected space. Those of you that do readings, I know you do that. So that you get the messages you feel are the ones you should be getting. So by incorporating these helpful and basic spiritual protection practices in your routine, help safeguard you and your energy, keep you grounded, and build your emotional resilience, all of which you can make you feel empowered as you move it through life. When you honor your strength, as you protect your personal space, then you can connect better. Energetic self-care is as important as your physical and emotional self-care, strengthening your holistic personal growth and personal wellness. Especially the more you do it, the more you strengthen your emotional and personal wellness, you need your protections. Because the more there is that you can give to others, the more they want to take. Oh, there's a fresh battery. Let's get that one. Remember that protection equals empowerment. Ultimately, metaphysical protection isn't about living in fear. It's about knowing your energy is sacred and treating it that way. It's about saying no to what drains you and yes to what uplifts you. It's about creating space where your spirit feels strong, safe, and free to grow. And I mean safe. Whether it's a black tourmaline in your pocket, a Palo Santo stick on your altar, or a ritual bath after a stressful day, spiritual protection is self-care on a soul level. I think that's the last one. Yep. So I want to open it up so we can get rid of those things and just listen to you guys. What kinds of things do you guys do? And when is it the most important to you to do it?
Well, first of all, Heather, I would like to say that was one spectacular presentation. I don't think there was anything that was left out so very well. attributed to each and every different aspect of protection. And I love that in the very end, you summed it all up that it's not about fear. It's about empowerment. It's about protecting and strengthening our own energy and working from that perspective. And it's really a wonderful reminder. I know that I interact with a lot of different people online doing readings, and I had a dear uh, watcher, a subscriber, said that she just had a huge breakdown. Things were just kept happening, and one thing after another. And she was crying at work. She said she's feeling better now, but she was like, "What's wrong with me? Like, am I going crazy?" She was just really thinking that something was wrong with her, and this is how powerful these energies, when they're compounded, can occur, can affect us, especially empathic people. And I felt like she was, picking up the collective angst of people, and the world. And I love the bath. I was like, oh yeah, a salt bath. That is really wonderful, a beautiful way of detoxing, of relaxing and protecting our energy. I just love, there's so many parts of it that I really love. And being in the awareness of that, we are not just the flesh and blood, but we are energy. We are energy and flesh and blood. This is our awareness, our spirit, our soul essence is that energy. And it was just extremely well done. I thank you very much for your time and your effort. You obviously put a lot of time into it, and I really enjoyed that. So I'll let somebody else comment.
Yeah, I almost commented that for me, when I moved here, I mean, there were lots of places that I could move, but I have to have a bathtub. No matter how hard it is for me to get in and out because I'm getting older, I need that bathtub. Because if I'm not feeling well, that bath will take care of it, And when I first started this, the place I would meditate most was in the tub because I felt support. Of course, I'm Pisces, so water and me, but still, it does work. So, but thank you. What kinds of things do you do too? I appreciate that. Anybody else? Oh, come on, you all do things.
Well, my favorite meditation mantra is all I seek, I already am. And that's usually my first go-to. And I have been affected by energies. It's sort of like comes in waves. And it comes from not only what we're experiencing physically because of what's going on on our planet and in nature, but also the human race right now. And it's very, very powerful, but it's not more powerful than we are. And so when I do my all I seek, I already am, I'll do my meditation, I deep breathing, of course. And then I get to a certain point with the mantra where I go, all I seek, I already am. I am eternal. I am powerful. I am gifted. I am loved. I am intuitive. And you just go through the list, whatever it is, and take that and remember it, remembering who we are. Jane. We'll talk about that later. But remembering who we truly are is our biggest power. Now, to add to that, of course, in fact, I'm holding my carnelian, which is all about communication. So I grabbed that because I knew I wanted to communicate properly today. And yeah, I definitely use crystals. I do the deep breathing, helps a lot. Grounding, sage, noise. I have that little Japanese bowl that the Buddha bowl, I call it. Noise is good. In fact, when we had some really rough trouble with some people, I literally took a pan and just banged on it and walked through my house and said, leave now. You're not welcome.
That
This
worked.
energy is not mine. And that really helped a lot, and of course, nature. And girl, I love camping. I mean, all I can possibly do. And it is extremely, extremely healing. If you have a place where you can go to natural mineral water, a hot springs, we went to a hot springs just a few weeks ago. And my favorite thing to do is float on my back, float in the pool, and look up at the beautiful blue sky and just feel your soul, feel your spirit, feel who you really are. That's so important. But also know this, that you are all powerful, and we have a warrior stance that you can take in your spirit and just say, "Pff," and connect to something physical. Dancing, like Priscilla mentioned, I love that. I use my windshield wiper. Like, I don't resonate with that thought. I'm not going to entertain it. And the more you do it, the easier it gets and the more powerful it is. So, and I add to Sun Psychic Jean's praise for you, Heather. Very, very good presentation. You covered the bases, girl.
Well, it's really important now because people are forgetting to protect themselves, and they're letting those energies attack them.
Mhm.
It's very, very important.
Yes, it
And
is.
the thing that struck me when I was looking, and I've mentioned it a couple of times, it's like you do all these other things to protect your human. Why don't you protect your spirit?
Yeah. When I do any kind of practice, I start with clear my mind, clear my body, clear my aura, clear my soul. And then I start out from above and go, I'm connected to divine source energy. And then imagine a big bubble protected from all low vibration energies and entities and grounded in Gaia. And then send love to Gaia and the elementals, and then bring the energy up and go through the chakras and then back up again.
Very
And
nice.
that's nice. But then I also have got bells and incense and Palo Santo and candles and sage spray or Florida water or whatever. Ooh, it smells really good. And then I have kind of a ritual of prayers and things that I go through. And it's really, that's just kind of gets you into the space. But I was thinking as you were talking about a time when I didn't know all this. This was a long time ago, and I was interviewing people about their experiences with angels, and back in the early 90s when that was kind of an early thing. And there was this, and I was just fine. I was actually putting ads in the paper. This is how long ago it was. This is sort of pre-internet, and contacting people because I compiled all these stories. And I remember going to this one woman's house, and right away I got a weird feeling about her. And she was really powerful, but I'm not quite sure exactly what was going on there. And I came home so spooked that I don't know what was going on with her, but I didn't want to bring it home. And I had a little baby, or probably an infant at that time. Maybe it was 1 or 2, I don't remember. But I thought, I can't bring this into this house. So I sat down, and I didn't know about all the protections and stuff back then. And I just sat down and said the rosary, which I had to look up how to do it because I hadn't done it for the longest time, and just did everything I could remember about how to clear a space. And then everything was okay. And as you were speaking, I thought of that for the first time in decades. And it makes so much sense to do a protective practice before, just as part of your daily ritual, because it's easier to protect yourself than to clear stuff out afterwards.
True.
And yeah. So it was just a wonderful presentation. And there's so many good things that I'm going to refer to. But yeah, all of those things. And sound too. I wanted to emphasize that. I had my house cleared by my current family psychic just last year, and she came in and she did some with sprays and other things, but a lot with sound, and kind of showed me how to re-clear things out. And it was sort of nice because she went through every room in the house and down in the basement and up in the attic and all of this stuff. And she said, yeah, everything was okay. But when I walked into this room, it was like, whoa. And and she said, it's really high vibe in there. And that's this room where I regularly sit and meditate or do all of these things. So it makes quite a difference.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. How about you, Jean? What are your practices?
All of it but what I wanted to add is they ebb and flow. Like I was so much into the sage when I was doing my shamanic energy healing. And then I was very much into the energy clearing when I was doing my Reiki, and then I was very much into the crystals, and the crystals healed me and protected me and really kept my helped me to keep my boundaries. And going through sprays, through incense. And I hadn't used incense very much, and now I'm addicted to using the incense because it just comes ebbs and flows, but candles are a consistent. And I do have the bells, and I used to use those religiously, I guess you would call it. But now I use it occasionally. I guess it depends on what type of practice that you're performing or practicing or learning at that time. But all of these things are good to incorporate at different times. But I do agree with Joan and everybody that it is so much more important to empower ourselves and strengthen our own energy, become aware, and have that boundary before anything should occur. And it's not. It's just you want to keep yourself in the best light. You're optimizing your existence, your energy, your experience here, and I think that that's really important. And self-love, being kind to ourselves, being respectful to ourselves, speaking to ourselves as in a kind and respectful manner is really very important. And it sort of undoes the cycle that we've been conditioned into believing and seeing and practicing, but yeah, it's all just so good. But and all of these things I have used, and some of these things I do use currently, and I love the way it ebbs and flows. So you don't have to do everything all at once. You just find what works for you in the practice that you're experiencing now.
And
Yeah,
I know
time doesn't.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it changes with time. Whatever practice that you've done in the past may not be appropriate anymore. As we grow and learn more things, we add to it. I'm a big believer in sage. I sage a lot. I always have, probably always will. I keep a bundle of sage in my car with selenite on it. I think it also helps keep me from road rage because I'm one of those type of people.
Sage, if I could interject, is also an antiseptic. So when I sage my home, it's also protecting from other things as well.
It does. It protects against a lot of things.
Yeah, and if you go back through that, you'll find that each of these things that you can do to protect yourself actually focus on something different. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with changing to different ones anytime that you want to, because they all address something a little different. They're still protecting you, but they still all address something majorly differently. And so I think, it's right to change things. And sometimes I use my singing bowl, and sometimes when I lived in the apartment, I couldn't burn anything. So I learned, and the Palo Alto essential oil, it's really nice. So I used that a lot. But, I wasn't allowed to burn anything, so I couldn't sage. But there are other ways, and I agree with everybody here. Sometimes it just depends on what you need at that moment.
I have a question. Do you all find that sometimes your guides will lead you to something that will be helpful in that moment in time? Sometimes if I get a little confused, I'm like, oh, I'm off and I need to do something, to help myself. Actually, I have been experiencing a lot of anxiety. I just went and volunteered. I'm signed up now to volunteer for the Hunger Coalition. So I go there and that makes me feel so good. It's a physical thing to add to that desire of, I want to feel better. I want to be helpful. And they definitely told me to do that. They said, get off your butt, go do something. But do you find you're led, everyone, sometimes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm led by my nose ring all the time. Guys. It feels like you're the ones in charge of my life sometimes. Oh, go do this.
Were there any questions from the chat?
I saw some great comments.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
I'll go
see.
through those later.
Let's see. Here we go. She passed me 9571. I work nights at a haunted hotel. Oh my goodness. And I wear a rose quartz and carry a stick of Palo Santo.
Smart.
That's a
Ah.
good
How big is that stick?
It's a walking stick.
You need a lightsaber. I thought Tamer Campbell out had an interesting question.
Hmm.
She said, when practicing protection, I fail to visualize. Is there any way to improve visualization skills? Practice.
Say, remember, visualizing is a lot like daydreaming.
Yeah.
Because
You know what helped me when I was taking my QHHT? There in their presentation, they say, can you visualize a red bird? And I'm like, no, but I can imagine a red bird.
Let's see.
Because it is, but for those of us that don't see, it's very hard to go, oh yeah, no, I can't see a red bird in my head. Sorry. But I know what a red bird looks like. So I can imagine a red bird. And I think that is a great place to start. If you're having trouble to visualize, just say, I can imagine this. Even if you're not actually seeing it.
And you can close your eyes as well.
Yeah.
So that
Another
you
one
can psychically see it.
that somebody taught me was think about, can you see, quote unquote, your kitchen when you're somewhere else? And just think about your kitchen if you're in another room. Well, that's so start with something easy, or an orange, or a lemon, or something like that, or a bird. Yeah, I think those are great ideas.
Yeah.
And practicing with guided meditations, and it's not what you think. Like, it's not one thing or a specific thing. It's whatever it is that you can imagine, so it's not a particular lemon that we want you to see. Whatever you see, and whatever shape of that lemon. One time I saw an elephant, and I didn't know it was an elephant, and his eye was just closing and opening. And I was like, what is this eye? And it had eyelashes, and it was small, and it had like little wrinkles around it. And I thought, what is this eye? I couldn't tell I was looking at an elephant. So visualization can sometimes be way up close. Sometimes it can be way far away. And it's really up to the individual how you interpret that. And it is like a memory, or it is like a dream, or it is like what you see, feel, or sense when you're reading a book. How you can imagine when they described that it was a blustery day with the leaves blowing. Can you imagine what leaves blowing on a blustery day might look like or sound like? And you don't have to actually have that imprinted on your, like watching it as a movie, but it's just knowing, there's this knowing that you can see. And also when you do get a little glimpse of that leaf blowing, it's the practice of focusing and on that. And this is with the guided meditation. Focusing is a muscle, and that focus goes through your imagination, and it's the same muscle that we use to connect to loved ones in spirit. It can be very fleeting, and it can be that you think that you're not in the energy, but you are, even though you can't hold that image for very long or even at all. It's there's so many different ways. Anybody else?
No, I think you said that perfectly.
That's
We're all describing the same thing. You don't have to actually see it like a movie. It's whatever you imagine. Your
Mhm.
imagination is everything,
Yeah.
contrary to what we've been taught most of our lives. But that's a whole different subject. Imagination and using it.
As another tool. I think we've been given so many. We were given everything when we packed up and arrived here on planet Earth, all kinds of tools, and they're very, very powerful. So don't forget who you are. You're a powerful, powerful soul, and you don't have to entertain fear. It's not who you are.
It's not. We're all
Yeah.
love. We're
Yeah.
all unconditional love.
And I like that you guys carry your protection with you. My power system with me and your power system is with you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you two are going to be exactly alike.
Exactly. And if
Boy,
you're
haven't we learned that in this community over the last few years, how different all of our gifts have manifested for each of us. I always thought a psychic medium was this. Oh no, they're this and this and this and this and this. And it's all different for
that
each person.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a protective bubble around you, you're never going to walk out of it. It just goes with you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yay.
Yeah, my mom used to put the white light around her car, and when we were growing up, my mom was, an inspiration to me as far as that goes. But I still use that, but I say it with a Southern accent because my mom is Southern. A white light.
Wow. I love it. That's so.
Or an
I
angel
have-
on all four corners.
I have crystals and feathers in my car, and little things that I feel give me attention to the fact that I am protected. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
White light. Oh, I love that. Thanks for giving that to me.
Mhm.
I use that.
I don't
And-
understand why you say that with an accent. To me, that's the normal accent.
Well, my mother
Not an
has
accent.
a
Yours is
good
an
old
accent.
fashioned Southern drawl.
I'm from
Love-
Texas,
yeah.
of course.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Well, that was a wonderful. I feel so
Yeah.
empowered myself. I've got to go back and remind myself of some of those things. I really,
know.
really enjoyed this, Heather. And we could have, each one of these things could be a show on its own. And you ladies always pull it through. You're amazing. All of the presentations, all of the research that you do is just so well done. And I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well,
We're
we do
grateful for
enjoy
you.
it.
It's very good. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
So if there's no more questions about protection, as I think you were pretty damn thorough. Everything.
Just want everybody to remember that protection is empowerment. And just
I
like
love
you take
that.
care of
Protection
you,
is
you
empowerment.
take care of your
It truly
spirit.
is. I'd like to know what you ladies are doing the rest of the week.
Yeah.
How about you, Terry Lee? Are you on?
I will be on Friday with Sun Psychic Jean. And we'll be doing the psychic triad reading. We are missing our dear Terry on this, but it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to reading for everyone, and I'm sure Jean is too. We love reading together, and that is at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. Friday.
Oh, I love that. And be sure and check out each of these ladies' channels. Each one of them is a very gifted psychic medium that does private readings and since I've read with everyone here on more than one occasion, I can highly recommend each and every one of them. And please join their shows. And a 3-minute, 5-minute reading on YouTube can be amazing, make an amazing difference. And it's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. So please check out their channels when they're doing these readings. It's amazing. Okay, Joe.
And I'll be hosting Jean and Gerald of Tarot Stash tomorrow for Enlightened Empaths, I think it is.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, tomorrow at 11 Central, so it'll be noon Eastern, 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, and that's always fun.
Gerald is always a hoot.
Isn't he wonderful?
We love our Gerald.
Love him.
We do. Anything else, ladies? We will not have a show this Saturday because I will be on the road. And hopefully, I think the next one is on the 11th, I believe. And that's going to be on the power of attraction.
Wow.
We've done this in the past, but it just seems like it's an important thing to do again. Just like we have to keep up with our protections, we have to remember the power of attraction and whether you're attracting what you want or what you don't want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good one.
It's super important.
Yes, it is.
I'll be the presenter next month, and I'll be doing Remembering Who We Are, the Sacred Search for Meaning and Connection. That will be the topic of my talk, and that is on the 1st of December.
1st of December. I'm so excited about that one. That sounds fantastic.
Mhm.
I always look forward to these monthly shows. It's always something different, and it's always enlightening, incredibly enlightening. So thank you, ladies, for being part of the Wisdom Circle. I really appreciate it. And thank everybody that came in today to join us. And for those that watch later, we appreciate it and sending much love to all of you out there. Anything else? Then I'll say goodbye.
See you next
Good night,
time.
everyone. Good night.